Tony's path to the end was my path to the end. We were partners from day one. Cops are us for life. I mean, we played the whole game together, and we were partners. Anything he can take credit for, I can take credit for, and vice versa. And now that I'm sitting over here, everything that I did, I'm going to give to him. And I'm going to let him take credit for. And he can sound like it was all him, because he has to win now. Because if he wins, then I win. Because that means we were successful. And if I won, he won, because that means we did it. Because only one person can win. So Tony's path, and Tony did play a great game. Even without me, he played a great game. But with me, he played a great game. And he's an awesome guy. We had a ton of fun. We did a lot of things that people would never even dream of doing. And, you know, he won 4 immunities. I mean, the record is 5, and the people that do that are Ozzy and Brad Culpepper. Are you really putting Tony up there with them? Mike Holloway. Hell no, Tony had never won individual immunity prior to this season, and he pulled 4 out. I mean, that's just incredible. And so you got 4 wins. You found an idol. You knew where the idols were at. You knew where advantages were at. So, I mean, in the outplay portion, he crushed it. He's a hard worker around camp. He's always getting firewood. You know, he's always putting the net out for fish and helping build the shelter and stuff. So staying up at night, tending the fire, staying up all night, you know. So the outplay portion, he crushes. The social game, a lot of people didn't expect Tony to be so personable. I've known Tony for 6 years. I love the guy. And I knew people would too if they just got to know him. And people got to know him. He's funny, he's caring, he's, you know, people enjoy Tony. And so, you know, the social aspect, the alliances he made, and you know, that I brought to the table. He brought me people, I brought him people, and together we formed huge alliances, and several of them. So, you know, the outwit, I mean, he crushes that. And then the outlast, he's sitting there, it's day 39. Michelle's the only one that can say they outlasted too. His torch has not been snuffed in this game. Michelle's torch has not been snuffed in this game. Natalie's has. So I think it's pretty clear who deserves the win. Tony's got the best resume. It's going to boil down to, can a jury of winners who have never been stung before not be bitter? And I hope the answer is yes. Because if the answer is yes, this season will be a success. Tony will win, and that's the way season 40 needs to end. I look at the criteria. Tony was in on every single vote except the Ben vote. And the only reason he wasn't in on the Ben vote is because I purposely didn't put him in the event that I went to the final. I needed to be able to say, yeah, he wasn't either. So he could have been in on that one. It wasn't like we blindsided him to hurt his game. I left him out of the vote to help my game in the event that I go to the end. So essentially, Tony was in on every single vote this season. He's the only one sitting there that can say that, you know. That's powerful. That means you have control. That means you have alliances. He had several different alliances, you know. We had the system. We had Cops Are Us. We had me, Ben, Sophie, Tony. We had, I mean, the Game Changers. We you name it, it was an alliance. And so, you know, you look at who controlled the game. I think that's what Survivor's about, is who's in with what's going on, who's steering it, who's driving. And the people that are left, like, you know, I feel like Tony is the only one that can say that. So I look at who was in control, I look at how they treated people, and I look at what they did around camp, you know. There are people that don't do anything, and that's really frustrating. That's not Tony. Tony's a hard worker, you know. So that's my criteria. How hard did you work around camp? How nice you were to people. Now, nice doesn't mean not writing their name down. Nice is when it's an off day and you're just sitting around having conversations, that you're being genuine and true. Now, when it comes down to writing someone's name down, that doesn't mean you're mean. It's just part of the game. So, you know, that's the social part, that you have to be personable with people. He doesn't talk crap behind people's back and then just playing the game. He won 4 immunities. He found a hidden immunity idol. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. I think that is a well-rounded player. It encompasses everything you need to have to win.